Good morning, students. Yesterday we have been learning the D block elements. Okay, so yesterday we have learned what are D block elements, why they are called transition elements, and what more the general electronic configuration, and why we have to study D block elements, what are the major applications. All those things we have studied, and applications are given briefly. In detail applications we have to study once again. Okay, so D block elements they possess special properties like color properties, magnetic properties, and catalytic properties, complex formation properties, variable oxidation state properties. These are the important questions that are asked from D block elements. So you have to concentrate on them. But generally we are studying what are D block elements and what are the properties. Okay. So melting and boiling points. Here it is shown that the melting and boiling point of 3D, 4D and 5D series. See here, this is a after scandium you will get titanium, right? So this is 3D series, this is 4D series and this is 5D series. What is happening, the trend from scandium to chromium, it is increasing and then it is decreasing, right? So the elements from scandium to chromium, the highest melting point occurs in the middle of the series contains 10 elements from scandium to zinc, and in nearly to the middle of the series the melting point and boiling points are higher. So why it is like so? Because you can see from the general electronic configuration that the number of unpaired electrons increases from scandium to manganese and then it decreases, right? So in this way, if the number of unpaired electrons are more, then the bonding between the atoms, the metal atoms, is strong. When the bonding is strong, the melting and boiling points are also strong. So in this way we can say that the melting and boiling points of a transition series, they go to a higher value in the middle of the series and then they decrease. Okay, like these properties we have to study. Then atomization enthalpy. What is atomization? Means to divide the substance into atoms. Okay, enthalpy means the amount of energy required to divide or to make into atoms. That is also the same trend, 3D, 4D and 5D series. You know, here this is of 3D series, 4D, 5D. So this is of the same trend. The reason is also the same. The chromium, molybdenum and tungsten, which have what is that configuration, 3d5 4s1, more number of unpaired electrons in chromium, right? So this how many unpaired electrons? Totally 6 unpaired electrons. This unpaired electron, see here students, you are studying the solid state chemistry side by side. Karthik sir is teaching you what is solid state chemistry. So you know that there are some kind of arrangement of atoms in solids, that is called as lattice. Okay, and the smallest unit of lattice is unit cell. So these are also metal atoms. Here also the atoms are arranged in a regular manner. In this regular manner, the atomic interaction, the interaction between the two atoms or attractive force between the two atoms is more when the unpaired electrons are more. The metallic bonding, it is called as, that will be strong. Due to the strong metallic bonding, due to the presence of unpaired electrons, then that is in the middle of the series you will have more atomization energy, more melting and boiling point. And this is about standard reduction potential. This is not applicable because this is a very big topic explained here, but this is not in our syllabus. Let's not spend more time here. So we will study the next topic. Oxidation states we will study. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so the oxidation states of D block elements. So D block elements generally they show variable oxidation states. What is meant by variable oxidation state? An element or a metal that shows more number of oxidation states is called as, and here see here, this topic also you have to study the variation in atomic and ionic sizes. So from left to right, when you go in a 3D series or 4D series, the size decreases slightly till copper and then it increases in the series from copper to zinc. So this decrease is due to the poor shielding of the d orbitals. See, we can know that from periodic table properties, the atomic size generally decreases from left to right. If that is the case, the decrease should be more, but these d block elements where the d orbitals are not that oriented and not that protecting the outer electrons to get shielded, this elements they show very less shielding effect, and the atomic size is also, the decrease in the atomic size is also less. Okay, see here this graph, it shows the first 3D series. This is the atomic radius, it is increasing, right? Atomic radius should increase from 3D to 4D, and 4D to 5D also it should increase. But you can see here that this is about 3D series, this is 4D and this is 5D. Okay, so in the 4D and 5D you don't have that much of difference in the atomic sizes, but in the from 3D to 4D you have an increase in the size. In the same way, from left to right you will have a decrease in the atomic size, as we know. Okay, let's see that graph as well. In the atomic, in the 3D series, the scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc, the atomic sizes is decrease in radius, it is shown here. The decrease is not that expected. Okay, with increase in atomic number, the size should decrease, but the decrease is not that expected. See here, students, this figure shows the electronic distribution in all the 3D series elements. Okay, you can see the nucleus at the center and the orbits surrounding the nucleus, and the first orbit containing 2 electrons, second orbit containing 8 electrons, third orbit containing 8 plus the number of corresponding d electrons, and the fourth orbit, that is the valence shell, is having the 2 electrons in it. Okay, see here how many shells are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, center is the nucleus. What does the nucleus have? Nucleus have protons and neutrons. These protons always attracts the outer electrons. So this proton charge, as it is increased from atom to atom, from atomic number, if we increase atomic number, the number of protons increases. This proton increase causes increasing the attraction of the electrons towards it. That is called nuclear force. Nuclear force increases. See here, this nucleus attracts the electron towards itself. The outermost valency electrons are attracted by this nucleus. Okay, see here, more nuclear charge, more attraction. It is shown here. This is less attraction and more attraction. Why more attraction? Because of more charge in the nucleus. So more attraction means what should happen? The size should decrease, right? The outermost electrons are attracted, so that the size decreases. The atomic size decreases from left to right. And in case of d orbitals, what happens? We can see atomic radii value is also given here. That is not that much essential, but in order to have a clear picture, they have given. So this 3D, 4D and 5D, you know that the atomic radius should increase from 3D to 4D and 5D to 4D to 5D, because from top to bottom the atomic radius increases. But the increase is not that much when compared to 3D and 4D. That is because of lanthanide contraction, that we can see later. Okay, that we can see what is that lanthanum. See here, it is shown here, lanthanum, hafnium, all these are, what are they? They are 6th period and 5D. They contain 5D valency electrons, as well as they have a 4f orbital also. The elements in which the outermost electron enter into 4f or anti-penultimate shell is also filled or called as lanthanides and actinides. They are also called as inner transition elements. So as the penultimate shell is more attracted or is more effective in shielding the outermost electron, the size of the lanthanides are almost same. This is the result why the 4D and 5D series, they have equal or almost same atomic radius. So consequences of lanthanide contraction and lanthanide contraction, all those things we will study in the next chapter, that is for F block elements. We have one more chapter, that is F block elements. Their important question is what is lanthanide contraction, what are the consequences. So lanthanide contraction is after lanthanum the 14 elements which are present, they in them the outermost electron or differentiating electron enter into F orbital, as the F orbitals are more effective in producing the screening effect. This all these atoms almost have the same atomic radii. Okay, so these 4D and 5D series, they have the same atomic radius. So the decrease in the size from yttrium to zirconium, and this is general decrease from left to right. But you can see all these elements, they have nearly the same atomic radius because of the lanthanide contraction, that we will detailedly study in the next chapter. Okay, for now what we have to know is the 3D, 4D and 5D series, they have the decreasing atomic radius from left to right, and from top to bottom they have, and the 4D and 5D they almost have the same atomic radius. Okay, so here see they are explaining, here it is explained why the lanthanides they have almost the same atomic radius, because of the penultimate shell. This is called as ultimate shell, this is called as penultimate shell, and this is called as anti-penultimate shell. In the F block elements you have these electrons in the anti-penultimate shell, and these cause more shielding because they influence the outermost electron, whereas here you can see the d orbitals are not that diffused, so they doesn't cause that much of screening effect, that is called as screening effect. So the atomic radii does not vary that much. Okay, so in all these are all the 4D elements. So we don't have to study that much in detail about this, we can go forward. Okay, so regarding the oxidation state we have to study. So regarding atomic radius, what you have to know, from left to right the atomic radius decreases, and from top to bottom the atomic radius increases. In case of transition elements, the left to right there is a decrease in the atomic size, but that decrease is not ఎఫెక్టివ్, అంటే అంత ఉండాల్సినంతగా ఉండదు. ఎందుకు ఉండదు అని అంటే టీ ఆర్బిటాల్స్ అనేటివి దాని షేప్ అనేది అవుటర్ మోస్ట్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ని పట్టి ఉంచేంత డిఫ్యూజ్డ్గా పర్టికులర్ డైరెక్షన్లో ఉండదు. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ దట్ డి ఆర్బిటాల్స్ ప్రొటెక్ట్ ద అవుటర్ మోస్ట్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్. డి ఆర్బిటాల్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, పెనల్టిమేట్ షెల్లో ఉన్నాయి కదా. సో పెనల్టిమేట్ షెల్లో ఉన్న డి ఆర్బిటాల్స్ కనుక బయట ఎలక్ట్రాన్ని న్యూక్లియస్ అట్రాక్షన్ నుంచి కాపాడగలిగితే అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, షీల్డింగ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఎక్కువ ఉన్నట్టు. డి ఆర్బిటాల్స్కి అంత ఉండదు కాబట్టి అటామిక్ సైజ్ అనేది డిక్రీజ్ అనేది తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, oxidation state. What is oxidation state? The number of electrons removed from the atom is given by the oxidation state. Suppose you see scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, all these except the zinc and the scandium, they show more than one number of or one type of oxidation states. This is called as variable oxidation states. అంటే ఏంటి, ఒక్కటి కన్నా ఎక్కువ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఆక్సిడేషన్ స్టేట్ ఒక ఎలిమెంట్ కనుక చూపిస్తే దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ వేరియబుల్ ఆక్సిడేషన్ స్టేట్. మరి ఎందుకు డి బ్లాక్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ వేరియబుల్ ఆక్సిడేషన్ స్టేట్స్ చూపిస్తున్నాయి అని అంటే, బికాస్ ద ఎనర్జీ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద అవుటర్ మోస్ట్ 4s ఆర్బిటాల్ అండ్ ద పెనల్టిమేట్ 3d ఆర్బిటాల్ ఈజ్ లెస్. 4s 3d 1 to 10 అండ్ 4s కదా దీని ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్. సో 3d అండ్ 4s మధ్యలో ఉన్న ఎనర్జీ గ్యాప్ అనేది తక్కువ ఉండడం వల్ల ఇవనేటివి ఏంటి, దే కెన్ లూజ్ ద ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఐదర్ ఫ్రమ్ ద s orbital 4s or 3d orbitals. They can lose electron from both the orbitals. So depending on the number of electron lost, these atoms they can possess more number of oxidation states. Okay, see here for example scandium, it has how many electrons, 4s2 and 3d1. So it can show only one oxidation state. As well as zinc also, it is completely filled orbit. Also, if the electrons are removed from 4s2 2 electrons, then it shows zinc plus 2. But the removal of 3d10 electrons, to disturb the 3d10 electrons, it requires much more energy. అందుకనే ఒకటే ఆక్సిడేషన్ స్టేట్ ఉంటుంది దానికి. ఓకే. So minimum oxidation state of copper is +1 oxidation state, because the electronic configuration of copper is 3d10 4s1. So అందులో 4sలో నుంచి ఒక ఎలక్ట్రాన్ తీసేస్తే you can get a +1 oxidation state. స్కాండియంలో చూడండి 3d1 4s2 కాబట్టి it is +3 oxidation state. Titanium, you can remove the electrons 2 from either 4s orbital, you can remove the electron from 3d 2 electrons from 3d, so it can exhibit 4+4 oxidation state. Maximum oxidation states చూపించారు ఇక్కడ. ఇంతకన్నా తక్కువ oxidation states also these can show, like in the previous diagram లో చూపించిన oxidation states are all the oxidation states that are shown by the D block elements. If you want, you can write down. This is an important question. Write about the oxidation properties or variable oxidation states of the D block elements, they may ask. Okay, so manganese అన్నిటికన్నా highest oxidation state ఎందుకు చూపించగలుగుతుంది అంటే it is having the 3d5 and 4s2 configuration. Here it is shown. So all the 7 electrons can be removed and it can show +7 oxidation state. Okay. So in other elements like osmium and all, you can see the +8 oxidation state also, because see here, so iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, they all, see in the case of iron, the maximum oxidation state is not see here how many unpaired electrons are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, but it should show only +6 oxidation state. The maximum oxidation state is not the number of electrons present in d and s orbital. Okay, it depends on the atom and it varies from atom to atom based on that stability and the amount of energy required to remove the electrons. Okay, so note down these values. So these are the variable oxidation state. You should write in the answer, write about variable oxidation states ante ee diagram vesi D block elements are able to show more than one type of oxidation state. Anyhow, I will share all the notes. So the reason for this is the difference between the 3d and 4s orbitals is less, so these atoms can able to give away the electrons present in these two orbitals, thereby possessing variable number or different number of oxidation states. Like that you have to write. Okay, so this is the reason for variable oxidation state. And coming to the stability order of D configurations, see the D orbital with 0 electrons, or the D orbitals with the 5 electrons and the D orbital with 10 electrons are more stable when compared to other D orbitals. If the D orbitals are having 3 electrons or 4 electrons, they are not stable. Completely filled, half filled or empty D orbitals are stable when compared to other configurations. We know that, right? So next one is you can see here one example, titanium +4 oxidation state, it is 3d0 4s0, and titanium +3 is 3d1 4s0. So which is more stable now? All the d and s orbitals in Ti +4 are empty, so it is more stable when compared to titanium +3, which contains one d unpaired electron. Okay, next one more example is given, 3d5 4s0 is more stable when compared to 3d3 and 4s0. In this way the stability of the d orbitals are explained. Okay, now coming to the next property, so the manganese, they are explaining why it is showing the 7 different oxidation states. What are those? These are explained. Okay, So students, this video which is shows clearly and explain everything about the D block elements. Tomorrow we will discuss about the other properties. Okay, so for today we will close the class, and if you have any doubts you can raise, okay, or you can share in the group. Okay, today we have discussed the atomic size and the variable oxidation states. Okay, thank you.